Hey everyone, got a video for you today. It is March 20th and some sad news. Let's just bring this up and take a look. So, Chuck Norris is gone, but the myth will live forever. Chuck Norris is dead, and the sentence feels like a clerical error in the universe. Men like that are supposed to outlast us all, standing somewhere just beyond the ridgeline, half legend and half warning. But time gets its due. Even from the hardest men, even iron wears down. Carlos Ray Norris didn't come out of Hollywood. He came out of the United States Air Force, a young air policeman posted to South Korea in the late 1950s. Not glamorous work, no headlines, just long hours, cold routines, and the kind of quiet accountability that either builds a man or exposes him. That's where he found Tang Soo Do. More importantly, that's where he found structure, repetition, discipline, the understanding that mastery is not a moment. It's a grind measured in years. The mindset is familiar ground for anyone who has spent time in uniform, especially in the parts of the community where standards are unforgiving and excuses don't travel far. Forged, not cast. Norris didn't play tough, he built it. Before the cameras, he stacked titles as a world champion in karate, real fights, real consequences. When he squared off with Bruce Lee in Way of the Dragon, it wasn't choreography carrying the scene, it was credibility. Two men who understood distance, timing, and what happens when things go wrong. That distinction hits differently in this community. There's a clean line between men who have done hard things and men who rehearse them. Norris lived on the right side of that line. He never inflated his service, never tried to pass himself off as something he wasn't. He didn't need to. His presence did the work. That kind of authenticity is rare, and it's respected. The operator archetype in civilian clothes. By the time he became Walker, Texas Ranger, Norris was more than an action star. He was a stand-in for a certain kind of operator mindset, stripped down and projected into the civilian world. Walker moved with purpose, no wasted motion, no second-guessing when the moment came. Identify the problem, close the distance, and solve it with controlled violence if necessary, then move on. It's a simplified version of reality, sure. Real operations are messier, decisions come with weight, and outcomes aren't always clean. But the core idea, that blend of discipline, restraint, and decisive action, is something every serious professional recognizes. He embodied a version of the warrior ethos that didn't need explanation. You saw it in how he carried himself, calm, direct, no theatrics. What he meant to the community. Norris wasn't an operator, but he understood the language. Discipline over comfort, repetition over talent, quiet competence over noise. He built himself the way good units are built, layer by layer, standard by standard, until the end product could take pressure without folding. That resonates. In a world full of inflated resumes and stolen valor, he stayed in his lane and mastered it. That alone earns respect. He took what the Air Force gave him, the habits, the structure, the explanation of performance, and carried it forward into everything he did. He showed what it looks like when you don't shed that mindset after you hang up the uniform. End of watch. The memes will keep running. The jokes about roundhouse kicks and impossible feats aren't going anywhere. They've become part of our American culture. But underneath all of that is a simpler truth. Chuck Norris represented durability, the kind you build slowly, under pressure, without shortcuts, the kind that doesn't advertise itself. He's gone now. But the standard he quietly reinforced, that expectation that you show up ready, do the work, and hold the line when things get difficult, that stays. And for a lot of people in our community, that's the part that counts. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. We lost a legend. Chuck Norris is gone. But like this article says, the memes live on. So it's nice to see MSN. This article was courtesy of MSN, and I'm not going to be sarcastic this time because they showed respect to a legend, and I'm going to show some respect to MSN. It's kind of, I hope everyone can take a lesson from Chuck, especially men out there. You know, we need to be more manly these days, right? So Let me know in the comments below. Were you a fan of Chuck Norris? Of course, everyone knows the memes. Let me know. But mad respect for Chuck, and rest in peace, brother. You will be greatly missed. With that, please do all that cool YouTube stuff. Like, share, subscribe, and like I said, leave a comment below. It helps with that YouTube algorithm and pushes the channel forward. And after you do that, and most importantly, don't forget to take care of yourself, take care of each other. And why? Take it easy. When you can, well, out of respect to Chuck, today, let's just take it easy.
Exit light, pursue night, grasp your prey, hold on tight. Dreamless peace is what you get. Say your prayers. Here's